share a little bit of yourself, your story with the people in my Dr. Herbal Hair group. I'm talking to women this month, hoping to support them if they're on a journey to start a business or be, just inspired by somebody else's story. So I'm gonna get right to it. So my first,
Okay.
thank you, sweetie. My first question is, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Well, I have a 6 kids and 2 dog ministry. I I'm a full-time mother. I'm a full-time wife, and I'm a full-time business partner. And I just I have my own tax company. I'm also the marketing manager for my husband's business, which is Johnny Tacos and Dinners. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Royalty Radio Show, which is right there on 87th and Cottage Grove. And so, I do quite a few things. And I'm only grateful unto God that I'm able to somewhat balance it all out. A lot of people ask me every day, like, Queen, how do you do all of this with 6 kids and 2 dogs? I can't do it with one. And I just think that it just takes, you just can't be an overthinker. And you just have to take it one day at a time, and you have to ask God for the patience and the order. And don't be afraid to reach out and tell people you need help,
Mm-hmm.
because it's amazing the help that God will bring to you. And I like to call those people rams in the bush. That God will send these rams in the bushes to come and help you get to the place you're going. And trust me, the ram in the bush is not your family members. That they won't be the ones that will be assisting you on this journey. Some families are great and they do get great assistance from their family, but many of us, um, we don't get the support from the people that we thought we would be getting it from, people that we grew up with, familiar faces. And
Right.
that's what a ram in a bush is, an unfamiliar face.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing to be assisted by strangers.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of times people get caught in their emotions and thinking, oh, I'm trying to start a business, I'm trying to do this, and my mom is not there, my dad is not there, my sister and brother's not there. And the way I see it is that's just God trying to take you to the next level and get you off of familiar grounds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because when you're comfortable at home, you tend to have a procrastination going on.
Right.
If you were to be centered among everybody, you wouldn't have any sense of elevation or a sense of wanting to go to the next level because you're comfortable. But when you're in a foreign place, you work every day to get out of that foreign place and get to something more comfortable. So the fact that God hadn't allowed your family members and loved ones and friends and people that you grew up with to help you along your journey, count it all joy,
Mm-hmm.
and don't consider it something negative, because in everything that we do, God is moving us, not ourselves, not our people. God is doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and we may not understand it. But in order to get to the next level of the vision that He has for you and the vision you have for yourself, you have to be placed in foreign places among foreign people.
Amen. Amen. So I have a question. With all that you said, it was great, wonderful, inspiring, and you wearing a lot of hats. What kind of dogs are they?
I do. I know. I never leave the dogs out, and that's a T-shirt. 6 kids and 2 dog ministry. They are 2 white Maltese dogs. I
Okay.
have a boy. I have a boy and a girl, Crystal and Bentley.
Nice.
Um, yeah. So it is amazing because I didn't grow up with dogs, and I never wanted any dogs. And with 6 kids, who would ever want any animals? But my oldest boy has Down syndrome.
Okay.
Okay, and so the animals were therapy for him during his
Mm.
therapy. And so it was my gift to him to get him a Maltese dog.
Okay, and that's another hat in itself, and
It is.
and everything that you're doing. So my hat is off to you another time. Um,
Okay.
so with all that being said, Can you explain to us, with everything that you got going on, the dogs and your husband, kids,
the the band of
why?
dog food.
Mm-hmm, why did you want to start a business?
Well, I'm a Pluto resident. Okay. I tell everybody I'm just simply not of this earth. I do not think like the majority of people. I know that a 9 to 5 wouldn't have got me to the level that I wanted to be on.
Mm-hmm.
And this story, we don't even have the time in the day to discuss
Mm-hmm.
this story that I have, but I will say this. I wrote a post on Facebook earlier that said, I came from being a black sheep to a shepherd. Okay. So what I mean by that, being a black sheep to a shepherd, my history, my family history, just the way I grew up, you have family members that, um, they have their favorites in family, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, and I like to say that I was a black sheep growing up because the dynamics of my family was quite different,
Mm-hmm.
from the traditional way. And I say that because all of my mom is a sibling of 10 children,
Wow.
and in our family we believe in the sanctity of marriage before having children, and growing up with a mom and a dad and all that. And my mom had me. Uh, she was a single mom with me, and she never married. And being a single mother, there was some struggles growing up, and I was raised in the projects. I was raised in the IDB Wells on 39th King Drive, and so the dynamics of my lifestyle was much different from my cousins and my mom, other sisters and brothers, and so they began to stereotype me because I had no father in the home. I was growing up in the projects, and my other family and cousins were all growing up with a two-parent home, and everything that looks like picture perfect and mass was just a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of deemed like the black sheep of the family. Like I was just going to grow up barefoot, pregnant, and I was going to be a welfare recipient. And there was a lot of labels placed on me because of the dynamics of my household. And but God took all of that bad stigma that was placed on me and in my life, and He took me from being this black sheep to an under shepherd, where I was leading flocks and I'll be an example. And I was never meant to set up in a 9 to 5 or set up and have limitations on my life. God had told me a long time ago, I'm going to set you on a hill in which you cannot be hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So, being that everything that I do, God said, you need two things to run this race, and that is God and a vision, me and a vision. And I set sail, and I thought to myself, with 6 children, and especially having my kids with special needs, it was really challenging trying to work a job with a child that had therapy 4 days a week.
Wow.
Um, I was also, I adopted 2 children, that are grown and on their own now. And I was just, I was married. It was just my lifestyle growing up wouldn't prohibit me to be in a 9 to 5, and my mentality wouldn't allow me to be in a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so God had put me in a situation where I could be a at home mom, and I just began to start writing a vision that would accommodate me and my children and my retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say to anybody, a lot of times we'll look at our circumstances and we be like, we can't do that. We can't have our own business. We don't have the money. We don't have the funds. No, who's going to buy Avon from us? We don't have any friends. Sometimes you just got to write the vision and make it plain.
Amen. Amen. So all of the adversities around you just promoted you, pushed you, gave you the drive, the tenacity, the will, everything to get to owning your own businesses, not just businesses.
Business is just being in a foreign place. And I'll tell you about my first business. I lost my husband October 28, 2010. My children father were in a fire, that ended our marriage. And my husband was a sole provider at the time. I was an at-home mom, and I was just driving along the expressway, and I seen a big old truck back in 2010 that says, sign up for Liberty Tax for free, tax school for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just when it come down to signs and wonders, I'm really keen with it. I just think that God just is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing. And you have to just be aware of your surroundings, and you got to just take everything almost as a sign. You just have to be alert and be aware. And like the young folks say today, stay woke. And
So you
I,
took
I was
that
driving.
sign. You took that sign as a sign.
Yeah, I took that as a sign. And you know what Dante is? Okay, so I took that as a sign, and I was on the expressway. And you know what? When I seen the sign, I was coming home from Loyola Burn Center because my husband was burned in third-degree fire from head to toe. And I just remember crying and asking God, what do I do now? I'm a single mom. At the time, I was a single mom of 7 kids. I said, what do I do now? I said, I don't have a job. We live in a gated community. I said, my husband was a sole provider. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I seen that truck. And at that moment, I just called that truck while I was on the expressway in the middle of crying and everything. I called and they said, yeah, you can start tomorrow. And it was for free. Who can argue with for free?
For free.
And for free. And I called and they told me, yeah, you can go to, stand up for your tax school for free. And I did that. And I went to the class. I think it was about 2 weeks. And I did a fast track class, and I passed it with flying colors. And with Liberty, if you go to their tax school, all of them are pretty much the same way. H&R Block, all of them. And you go to their class, they'll hire you
Right.
to work in their facilities. I'm sorry, I'm in a car. Can you guys still see me?
I can see you, sweetie.
Okay. They'll hire you to work in their facility or whatever. So I started working and I loved it. I just loved it. I was like, oh my God. And I worked for them year after year after year. Then I started to work from home and build my own clientele. And it's called Queen Taxes, and I'm still doing taxes today, and I absolutely love it.
Good
And
for
it was
you.
it was the key. It was the key source. It was the key source to keep me afloat. I mean, I did. I was fortunate to get other avenues of income due to the loss of and my husband not being able. So there was compensation from my husband, disability, his work, and everything concerning me and the kids. There was a little bit of a net state set up for us, but and I just took it. And I just took God all the way with me. And God really did. He just ordered my steps.
Amen.
The truth about life is if you're going to worry, don't pray. And if you're
Exactly.
going to pray, don't worry. And I had to get all by myself because I'm telling you, God is concerned with you, and
Yes,
whoever
it is.
your God is. I'm not God. God could be it could be Buddha, it could be Allah, whoever your creator is. I typically don't even like to say God because religion and that word tends to turn people off. So I'm gonna reverse and revamp that word and say your creator. Your creator is concerned about you. Your creator will never
Absolutely.
the creator will never take you to a problem and not bring you through it. So
Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate you being open to share a whole part of yourself because that's a whole part of your story and who you are. And I appreciate you opening up to share that with us. Um, I got 2 questions for you, and I know you're busy. Sorry, Johnny. I'm gonna let her go in a second.
Oh
Um,
oh
no,
no,
it's all good.
I told him about this. So we was waiting all day.
When we get on the
okay, good.
expressway, I'm gonna cut this light back on.
Okay, awesome. So, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about starting their business? What 2 main or 3 main things, or how many other things you would tell them to focus on to get started? What advice would you give them?
Well, I didn't do this getting started, but I learned about this later on, and I think that you don't have to, with everybody has a different startup. Some startups are easier than others. Sometimes you got to go around the block 4 times and then go, oh, that was real easy. Okay, so I'm going to give somebody a more easier route. There's a program out there called SCORE. That's
Love
SCORE, SCORE.
it. Love it.
Okay, okay. So it's score.org, and it's free. It is free. And you take a class. They do have some trainings, and the trainings are, at a small fee. You can choose to take it or you can choose not to. But I think one of the greatest things that they've put out there is that you can get a free business mentor with
Yeah,
SCORE.
they offer they you and the good thing is they meet you where you are.
Yes, they do.
Like
Yes, they do.
like they arrange for somebody right in the vicinity of your area because when I finished writing my business plan and I live up north in Rogers Park, I was like, well, I can come downtown, typing back and forth with somebody through email, and they were like, oh no, we can have somebody meet you in Evanston, Skokie, wherever you want. I was like, oh okay, girl, guess what? They met me like I could walk 2 minutes from my house. I was like, I like this, and looked at my business plan, and we got it done.
The fastest edge.
So I love that program. Thank you for mentioning
Yeah,
that.
yes, they do. They meet you right where you at. They'll come to your home anywhere you need to, and you just tell them what type of business that you're trying to have. And like you said, they will mentor you through the whole course. And I think that is absolutely awesome. And I think anybody who wants to start a business should start there. And that's at score.org, score.com. And if you have the information, sis, make sure you put it down in the comments because that's very important. The second thing I think, which is really, really good when you want to start a business, is to YouTube the type of business you want to start. YouTube is just so powerful. It's such a powerful tool. I'm telling you, if you want to be a balloon decorator, you go to YouTube and says how to be a balloon decorator, and it is 5,000 videos on there that can show you how to. So YouTube is the how to, y'all, and I think YouTube is so awesome. Many people have a bad taste in their mouth about Facebook, but I'm gonna tell you, I think Facebook is a phenomenal marketing tool because whatever it is that you're trying to do, Facebook has a group for it. And being in a group, if you say you want to be a caterer, go to all the caterer groups on YouTube. And there's people on there that's doing things, showing you how to do things. There's questions and stuff that you can ask. Just link around like-minded people
Hmm.
because that's important. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, groups in your community, programs like SCORE, like-minded people who can help you who has the same excitement that you have and can take you to the next level of networking and just even and whatever you're doing, um, you and I, Dr. Herbal, we are vendors. And so, as vendors, we've had the great opportunity to go across this great city, vending our products, introducing our products, meeting new people, which is one of the best networking tools that
Avenues, yeah. Hmm.
avenues that I've had, even launching my business. And I get so much publicity just from vending. But you know what? Just sitting at home and just say, look, you don't have to have anything fancy. That's why I said don't be an overthinker. Sit
Hmm.
at home and say to yourself, what is it that I want to do in life? You have to get out of the mind frame of limitations and know that you can do all things.
Right, right.
And you have to first have a desire. You got to have a passion for something because it ain't for you if you're not passionate about it. You can't just sit back and be like, oh, I want to do something. No, 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 no. We all have a purpose driven life.
Hmm.
So sit back, and we're multi-talented. That's the thing about our creator. He put in us so many different talents. And sometimes we get confused about what it is that we're supposed to do because we're so talented and we got so many great things that we want to do. But I say just the first thing to do is just sit back and think of your passion. And if you passionate about baking chocolate chip cookies,
Then bake
then
them
I say
cookies.
I bake them cookies in every style, form, or way you can bake them cookies. Sit back and pray and ask God to, I'm sorry, sit back and pray and ask your creator to just open up your mind and your heart and the road you need to go down, and ask him to get you around the right people at the right time to just trying to open up your vision in life and what it is that you want to do and want to be because everybody has a purpose.
Absolutely. I thank you. I appreciate you. Um, so I want to ask you what if anything, and if you don't right now, I understand. What, if anything, are you offering? Or do you have a special for people if they want to get some catering service from you? Is there anything that you can tell the people about what you're offering this month or next month for the holiday season?
Okay, so I was, you all know that I do taxes, but what you all didn't do, because we kind of fast tracked through this thing, I now have my company called Johnny Tacos and Dinners, and I'm excited. We are mobile vendors. We launched August 4th, and we have taken off. It's amazing the amount of supporters that we have. Um, everyone loves food. Everyone loves food, and everyone loves great food. You can't deny great food. And what we decided to do was we decided to be mobile vendors, where we travel. Not it's significant to a food truck, but we're not vending out of a truck. We come to you free of charge. So the good thing about it is everybody loves free. Everybody loves good food. Everybody loves great customer service and a presentation, and I bring all of that. Superb, a superb presentation. So what I do is I come out to your event free of charge. You eat free. So we have two. I'm sorry. Let me back up. We have two styles of vending. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
first style of vending is the host eat free, and the guests will pay what they want at my bar. No different from a hot dog stand. You go up and you say, "Hey, can I get a hot dog with sauerkraut, no mustard?" Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they fix that up for you. Our awesome taco bar has everything on it. We typically could have anywhere between 2 or 3 different styles of meat, from turkey to beef to chicken to shrimp to fish, you name it.
To
And we could
vegan.
come to vegan. Yes, we have launched our vegan and vegetarian bar, which we just did a the Black European. It had 800 guests, 800 vegans,
How cool
and
is
we
that?
it was so cool, and we sold out. And and it was just awesome. But we come out, we do it for free, and again, it's like it's no different from a dog stand. You come up to our bar, you look at our buffet, our gourmet buffet bar, and you just tell us what you want. We have our fabulous 9-layer nachos. I mean, nobody is, we out here killing them, sis. Do you hear me? A 9-layer nacho.
That's off the chain. And what's the other form of how you service people?
And the other form, and so with the first style of vending, the host eat free, and in the bar is at the guest expense. And the second style is catering. So the host will pay, and is at the host expense, and the guests eat free.
Okay.
And so our bar is typically really like $10. We have tacos as low as $3. We home make everything. Johnny, and so let me help y'all understand. Johnny is the CEO and founder, Johnny Williams, of Johnny Tacos and Dinner. It is not my company. Many people think it is because I work it like it's my own, but it's not. He sweat the blood and tears for this company, and I'm grateful that he allowed me to come in and be his partner and be the marketing manager for his company. So he does everything from scratch. Does like no jar. He
Nice.
doesn't. So his mango salsa is a really big hitter. And I think, just his flavor and his seasonings. He grew up with his grandmama, and she left her soul with him in the kitchen.
Well, wait
And
a
and
minute.
his
Wait a minute. I feel like, maybe he should make me a plate and I should taste it in the group and let everybody
and
know.
he definitely should. He definitely should. He has a passion for cooking, and I don't want anybody to give me credit that is not due, because cooking is not what I do. I eat.
I love it.
I
I
but
love
he
it.
does all the cooking. He grows, he has his garden, he grows stuff,
Nice.
from his garden. He does everything with love, and he does it from scratch. He doesn't like jar foods. And the gourmet tacos, they start at $3. We have the 9-layer nachos. Those are $10. I mean, the highest price thing on our taco bar is $15, and that's our soul food dinner. And I'm here to tell y'all that Johnny Jerk chicken, that Johnny Jerk Philly, that purple cabbage, you cannot deny. If it ain't purple cabbage, it's not ours.
If it ain't purple, it ain't yours.
It ain't purple, it's not ours. So we have awesome. So we do two bars, two gourmet buffets. We do our taco buffet bar, or we do our soul food or jerk soul food buffet bar. And it's typically sweet potato. It could be anywhere between sweet potatoes, macaroni and cheese, that purple cabbage, potato salad, and he has two different type of meats that he do. He's either gonna do the jerk meatloaf or the jerk chicken dinners.
Okay.
So people just go crazy. They love our food. They just like, and it's so awesome. If you go to YouTube and click on Sean Queen, SHON Queen, QUEEN, and look at all the Johnny Taco videos.
I know.
And we
I've
cater.
been watching some, and they are off the chain. And you got people singing while they eating. That how we all get to moaning and humming and stuff when the food tastes good. I've been watching some, so yeah, they doing the thing.
You gotta go and look at the one with our one of our customers. His name is Trey G. He had some of our food and he began to testify. He was speaking in
No, I
tongues.
saw
He was
that
very.
one. I saw it. It was hilarious. He had me cracking up. So
But he was dead serious. We was laughing, but he was dead serious. And I'm telling you, if we don't get his food to him in a timely fashion, he got a bad attitude. He not playing with us.
that's funny.
It
So listen, guys.
was 4 o'clock in the morning.
Anybody in Chicago, what I'm going to do is I'm going to when we end this conversation, I'm going to post all of their information, their websites, how you can view them on YouTube, all their social media pages. It would behoove you to go and can take a look at what it is that they're offering and hit them up when you're doing some type of event. Get involved and get
Well,
other
let me say
people.
this, sister. Let me say this, sister. They can always tune in and listen to Sean Queen and King J every Thursday at supportdistrictradio.com. So you all want to go ahead and download that app at supportdistrictradio.com
Okay.
and go to the station My Radio Chicago and listen to Sean Queen and King J, which is the owner of Johnny Tacos. Listen in to us from 7 to 8. 7 to 8, My
On
Radio
Thursdays.
Chicago, every Thursday, 7 to 8. You can also follow us. We have an event page on Facebook, Johnny Tacos and Dinners. And even just being on our page, Johnny Williams or Johnny Queen, we pretty much post every day where we at. And what we doing right now, sis, and I want to put this out here, what we're doing now is we're vending at all the nightclubs. Those are the ones that's been reaching out to us. We are at Structure 147, which is the old KOD Kings of Diamond in Harvey. We typically be down at V Lab in Harvey. On Sundays, we do our Sunday dinners at Jimmy's Lounge on 138 in Indiana in Riverdale. We can be at Leo's Den, which is 1200 East 71st Street. So, I mean, just continue to follow us, Johnny's Queen. That's JOHNNY Queen. And you can see us posting daily. Outside of that, we have a lot of vintage jobs, so you can follow us each day. What we're looking to do, because when you're starting off a business, people, sometimes you have to, vend and go places that you wouldn't typically would normally want to be every weekend. So we are in nightclubs that is good. We got good clientele there. Our names have moved really fast because a lot of people are in nightclubs. So people do know us from the nightclubs. We do Club Red, which is on 54th and Arlington. We do all day special events. But I would like to move from the nightclubs because sometimes we don't get out the nightclubs until 4 and 6 a.m. in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's a little bit tough. But sometimes when you're trying to start your own business, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be up late nights. You're gonna be doing some tough stuff. You gotta do a lot of groundwork before you can get to the next level, and that's okay. So that's our groundwork. I would like to start doing employee lunches. I
Okay.
would like for people to start to speak to their employees. If you're a business owner, Chicago promoter, and barbershops and beauty salons are very good for this because they don't really get a chance to get out, and so you call us in and we'll come in and we will vend, we will feed all your clients, feed your staff. So we would like to do employee launches.
Okay.
That's a good thing we want to do. And just, anytime you have any events, we also have a kids buffet. So, I know I have 6 kids. And I was thinking to myself when I started this, I said, oh my God, why wasn't anybody doing what I do? Because do you know how stress free it is to not have to worry about the food?
It's true.
not to have to worry about the food. And by the time you done going up to Jules or wherever you at, buying all the food, trying to cook all the food, you know, you would have figured this whole thing out, and you would have called Johnny Tacos and Dinners at 815-505-4333. Again, that's 815-505-4333.
And then I could just sit up with my legs propped up and enjoy dinner.
And you know what? We so cold. We so better than everybody. We are like the baddest vending company on the planet, because this is what we do. We don't just come and drop off food. Most catering companies, sis, will come drop off the food, get the money, keep going. That's not what we do. We set up. We find out what your color scheme is, what it is that you like. We set quite a beautiful presentation up. Our tables is decorated and decored. Like for instance, we did a Swedish Day. We did Swedish Day vending. So of course I came in my beautiful red, and I had my red and pink and white setup and backdrops and chocolate covered strawberries, and we vending, and we just made it so festive
Right.
for what you had going on. And we had balloons, you know, heart balloons, and this is all at no cost to you. So not only
This is going back to what you were saying earlier. If somebody is trying to start a business, whether it's chocolate chip cookies or chocolate muffins, set yourself apart. And that's
set
what you
yourself
guys are
apart,
doing.
and then make people want to. My tables be so extravagant. People want to look over and say, "What's going on over there?"
Exactly. Exactly. You know, that reminds me, I was at an event last month, and people were hogging my table because I had such a different table. You know, my table was set aside. You know, they were just attracted, they were drawn. And not only to that, your personality, it goes a long way too. If you got a great personality, people will be drawn to
Yes.
you.
Yes. And you know, you have to just present yourself as $1 million winner. You know,
Yes.
you can't half step. I mean, this is my business, this is my baby. You know, when Johnny brought me on to elevate and take this company to another level. And so every day and night, you know, I think of how I can be better. Now, let me say this to you business owners. There's going to be so many bumps in the road, so many errors along the way. You're going to come home happy some days, and a lot of days you're gonna come home shaking your head like, I should have did that. And that's okay, because that's the groundwork. And you can't get to perfection until you have overcame all the imperfections. And so what happens is every night I rewrite the plan. I rewrite the plan. I rewrite the plan. When you start your business, you're gonna have products that you're gonna be setting your prices too low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're gonna understand after a while that was too low. I need to upgrade my prices. Or there's some people who set their prices way too high,
Right.
and you're trying to figure out why you're not gaining the wealth and not gaining the clientele. So do your homework. Go around. Like for me, we look at other taco restaurants. I go into other taco restaurants. I get their price menus. I look and see what they have. So we do a lot of comps.
Right.
We compare what we have going on to other people vending and doing tacos. And so whatever product you have, now I'm surprised that I did the $3 tacos, honey, because I'm past that level.
Well, I want to hold you right there for a second, because you know what, I'm gonna have to have you come back, but I want to say something about what you price yourself and your product at, because it is about yourself as well. Because you have to pay yourself for your time. You have to pay yourself for the bottles, the that you use for your
Yes,
product, the wrapping, the bags, all of this. Get that body scrub done.
yes,
But you have to pay yourself for a lot of things. It's not just the product itself that went inside of the bottle or inside of the taco, you know, the meat and all of that. You have to pay yourself for your time, everything. And people don't understand that. And I did not understand what walking into a store meant and just saying, "Oh my God, this thing is 15.95 for this little thing." You know, it
hmm
means a lot, because it was more than this little thing that went into that. So I have a
yes,
better
yes,
understanding and appreciation for business owners, especially small business owners, because you have nobody helping you with that overhead cost. You're doing all that by yourself. So when you go
and
into Sally Beauty Supplies and you buy something and you need to return it to them, guess what? They ain't got to worry about it. They gonna still get paid for it, but I
that's
won't.
true. That's
So
true. And,
I'm gonna have to have you back out because I'm
okay.
supposed to be on a 9:30 call, and this was great. I promise you, this was great, and I just want to let everybody know that I will be once I get off my call tonight. I'm gonna put all your information inside of the group, so don't worry. They'll be able to go to all your social media, your website, everything. I'm gonna post all of that. I'm gonna post some images of your food and you, so and you
Thank
guys,
you.
so they can see you. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time out on your way to what you're doing best to talk to me. This was great. I'm gonna have you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us, sis. And again, just to all of you all, start small. Don't be an overthinker. Take your time. Don't get in debt. Don't get in loans. When we started, every company I ever started, I didn't get a bank loan. Me and Johnny started Johnny Tacos and Dinners off with $26.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So I know you and I, we got some stuff we got to connect on, but I appreciate you. Look, I was going through my bag of old school stuff and I'm throwing away stuff. Girl, look at you. Remember these?
Yeah, that's
No,
old school right there. Don't be asking me if I remember that, honey. I'm a spring chicken.
all right. You know what? You guys be good. I enjoyed you. You guys be safe, and I'll talk to you real soon, sweetie. I really appreciate you.
All right, bye. Love you, sis.
Love you too.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.